Thank you for watching Sports News Africa. I'm Temeskin Tebesai. And we begin with the Africa Cup of Nations that is now under 2 weeks away from kicking off in Equatorial Guinea. 7 sides have so far named their final 23-man squads for the tournament, which begins on January the 17th. They are Gabon, Cape Verde, Algeria, South Africa, Guinea, Ivory Coast and Mali. The other 9 are still pending. The big news of the day comes in the form of top goal scorer Sadio Mane, who will miss the tournament because of a calf injury. This will be a huge blow for Senegal, with Mane in fine goal-scoring form for club and country, including scoring the opener in Southampton's 2-0 win over Arsenal in the Premier League on New Year's Day. In other injury news, Leicester City's Jeff Schlupp is a doubt for Ghana after the midfielder suffered a knee injury against Liverpool. Taking a look at the squads, Ivory Coast coach Hervé Renard has named all the big guns in the team. Yaya Nkola Toure, Gervinho, Solomon Kalou and Cheikh Tiote have all been included. Ivory Coast are one of the tournament favourites, and the Elephants have set up a training camp in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates ahead of the tournament. South Africa have yet to name their final squad, but the surprise is that coach Shakes Mashaba has left Ajax Amsterdam midfielder Tulani Serrero. But the biggest surprise has been sprung by the hosts themselves after Equatorial Guinea sacked coach Andoni Goikoche with just 12 days to go before they play Burkina Faso in the opening game. It's been reported that they plan to appoint Esteban Becker as Goikoche's successor. Well, we can now speak to South African sports correspondent Mo ALLIE about this. Mo, Equatorial Guinea have sacked their manager, Andoni Goikoche. What more can you tell us about this and a possible replacement so soon before the tournament starts?
Well, Andoni Goikoche, his contract had actually expired on the 31st of December. He was in charge of the side for 2 years, and apparently he didn't accompany the team to their camp in Portugal where they played and lost 2 friendlies. He only arrived later, and as a result, they've also had new elections for the Equatorial Guinea FA, and upon the assumption of the new presidency, they've decided not to renew Goikoche's contract. And apparently, Stephen Keshi, who failed to qualify Nigeria for the Nations Cup and, of course, won the Nations Cup with Nigeria in 2013, is one of those who has been mentioned as a possible replacement, as has Milovan Rajovac, the former Ghana coach. But for the moment, I understand Esteban Becker, who is the national women's coach in Equatorial Guinea, is in temporary charge of the side. Of course, they've got to continue their preparations for the Nations Cup, which kicks off in just under 2 weeks from now.
But we've also heard today that Senegal striker Sadio Mane is definitely out of the championships. You've mentioned the competition is only 2 weeks away. How much will this hurt their campaign?
I think it will certainly hurt their campaign because he's been in terrific form for his club side, Southampton in England. He just scored over the week, during the week on New Year's Day, in fact, against Arsenal, scored a terrific goal. And he's scored regularly for Southampton. He's been in terrific form since joining them from Salzburg in Austria. So I think it will be a massive blow losing Sadio Mane. And it's going to be very interesting to see whether coach Alain Giresse calls up Demba Ba to replace him, because then Demba Ba was actually a controversial exclusion from the side, and he had some very harsh words to say about the coach, saying that the coach doesn't know what he's doing. He's basically a puppet, and the coach responded in kind as well, saying that they qualified for the Nations Cup without Demba Ba. But Demba Ba, as we know, has been in terrific form in Turkey and has scored regularly. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether they actually call up Demba Ba to replace Sadio Mane.
South Africa beat Zambia 1-0 at the Orlando Stadium on Sunday. How do you think these two sides are shaping up?
I think South Africa are on a rich run of form. Yesterday's win over Zambia has stretched their unbeaten run now to 10 games, 8 of which were played under Shakes Mashaba. So he's gone 8 games without defeat, including, of course, qualifying for the Nations Cup. And I think victory and winning obviously breeds confidence. But having said that, I don't think one should look too much or attach too much importance to these pre-tournament friendlies, because obviously players will be careful not to get hurt. As we saw yesterday in the game, Kennedy Mwini, the Zambian goalkeeper, experienced campaigner, and Thabo Matlaba for South Africa went off with injuries, and they didn't look happy. The look on their faces when they were taken off by stretcher certainly betrayed a concern on their behalf that they may be doubtful for the tournament. And if I could just remind viewers that South Africa, prior to the 2006 tournament in Egypt, beat Egypt in Cairo by a goal to nil. Egypt went on to win the tournament, and Bafana failed to win a single game and failed to score a single goal. So I don't think one should read too much into these pre-tournament friendlies.
Did South Africa's performance suggest they could do well in their Cup of Nations group of death?
Yeah, I think as we mentioned, winning obviously breeds confidence and it breeds that winning feeling and a belief in the team that they can do well. And Zambia, of course, are the 2012 Nations Cup champions. And they actually had a lot to play for, the Zambians, because they still have not finalized their squad. They're still down to 27 players, so 4 players have to be cut before the 7th of January. South Africa, as you mentioned, are in a very, very difficult group against Ghana, Senegal, and Algeria. And I think what's going to help these South Africans is the fact that they are up against such strong sides with such a rich pedigree, Ghana and Algeria having gone to the World Cup. So I don't think there'll be too much pressure on these South Africans. Nobody is expecting them to qualify from this group of very strong sides. And I think that's what's going to make them very, very dangerous. The fact that no pressure is on them and nobody's expecting them to win. And they really do play as a team. The only star player is Telani Serrero with Ajax Amsterdam, and he has been controversially excluded from the squad. So it's really a team of no-name players, and I think they go there as a team rather than individual stars.
Mo, other countries are also announcing their squads. Any surprise inclusions and omissions?
Well, I think the omissions obviously are the ones that have caused lots of debate. South Africa, as I mentioned, Tulani Serrero is by far South Africa's best-known player in Europe. He has been excluded. And, of course, Didier Drogba and Didier Zakora have retired from international football, although there were calls for Didier Drogba to make a comeback by the coach of Renard, but he's turned that down. And as we mentioned, Demba Ba, not included in the Senegal side. Michael Essien and Prince Boateng, Kevin Prince Boateng, and as well as Suli Muntari not included in the Ghana squad. And I suppose significantly as well, Alex Song, who's been in such terrific form for West Ham in England, also not included in the Cameroon squad, although there has been talk that there might be a reconsideration on behalf of the coach, Volker Finke, and that he might just be a late inclusion in the Cameroon squad.
Okay, Mo ALLIE in South Africa, thank you for speaking to Sports News Africa.